They're the engines for our communities that they sit in. Imagine an East Lansing without a Michigan State University. That's not a thing.
Education advocates are standing up for public universities tonight as some state lawmakers push for major funding cuts for higher education.
A budget bill from the House of Representatives would restructure funding for colleges and universities. Higher education funding would be cut by about $175 million. Michigan State University and the University of Michigan would be hit especially hard, cutting their budgets by 62%. For MSU, that means losing $200 million in funding for the next fiscal year. Good evening. I'm Ann Emmerich.
And I'm David Andrews. Lawmakers only have a few months to pass their combined school aid budget. And tonight, News 10's Riley Connell brings us both sides of the debate over higher education.
Michigan's two biggest universities could face a huge reduction in funding under a proposed budget plan in the State House of Representatives. Lawmakers are pushing for a 62% cut to state spending for Michigan State University and the University of Michigan.
Fundamentally, there's no reason to cut any of the state universities. There's no call for it in revenues. There's no call for it policy-wise.
Mia Murphy of the Michigan Association of State Universities says higher education needs a budget boost, not a chop. But School Aid Subcommittee Chair Representative Tim Kelly is looking to right-size university budgets, saying schools like MSU are focused more on politics than education.
I think that we want them to be focused on outcomes, focused on preparing people for jobs of the future and not necessarily indoctrination.
Kelly says the House education budget makes K-12 schools the priority by increasing per pupil funding and improving literacy programs.
None of us are pleased with Michigan's performance in reading or math.
In response to proposed cuts, MSU spokesperson Amber McCann said reducing investment in institutions that impact thousands of Michigan families undermines students and risks economic success. Michigan College Access Network Executive Director Ryan Fewens-Bliss says he agrees.
College matters to our economy, to our community, whether you are an attendee of those colleges, a graduate of those colleges, or just live in the state that these colleges exist in. We all benefit mightily.
In Lansing, Riley Connell, News 10.
The Michigan Senate announced its education budget plan today. It also includes a boost to per pupil funding and a focus on literacy programs. Higher education advocates hope they can make a case for funding universities as the two chambers negotiate a final state budget.